A-D-N.
It's HeadphonesNeil!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to HeadphonesNeil Reviews. I'm your host, as always, HeadphonesNeil, bringing you my review for week ending February 28th, 2025. So I have a more concise review or set of reviews than usual, mostly because it's just the one TV show I've been watching, gameplay update, and then the update to the start of my next gameplay. So with that being said, the easy update is that I've been continuing to watch Battlestar Galactica. I'm in the middle of Season 3, so overall, I almost thought it was going to go into a very, very dark place with the start of Season 3 because you have the injuring of a child. So granted, the series started with that in Episode 1 with Caprica 6 killing the baby, but it wasn't nearly as bad as that. But they took it to the point of it's a human-robot hybrid, so are the rules different or not? And then they're progressing forward from that whole premise of what constitutes human, can Cylons believe in God? So they spend a lot of time on that on the Cylon side with Baltar, the escape of the humans from New Caprica, and all of that. So the season progresses nicely, and then now that Baltar has been captured by the humans again, and then they're considering how they want to deal with his trial and the legality of all that, singling out a particular population in the form of the Sagittarians for that plague that breaks out. So the show is taking on various different themes of a number of populations living in a confined space and the rules and laws and how things are different now. So I'm not quite to Baltar's trial yet, but we are spending time with Adama and his son, reconciling Adama dealing with the reconciliation of the anniversary with his wife, but the loss of his wife, not being there for his son, and all of that stuff. So all in all, it's an interesting season as well, continuing to be a very, very good show. So I only have a few episodes left, so I'm just powering through through it. So far, so good. I always can't wait to see what's coming next. So with that being said, I am at the point where... So as far as the Grand Theft Auto gameplay goes through, if you've had a chance to listen to the hot take review I put up on the YouTube channel, then it's going to be a more elaboration on that. But in case you haven't, so recently I had to do a factory reset of my phone. It was acting weird. I needed to basically just reset my phone, and something I didn't think about researching until after I had done it, because my gameplay was gone after I did the reset, was that GTA San Andreas, the regular version, does not have cloud saving the games. Even as far as an initial search for the definitive edition, that doesn't have it as well from what I could tell. But regardless, if you in the event that you are playing the game now and you have to reset your phone, apparently the save games are saved locally, so you may be able to back it up first before you reset your phone. So I haven't tested that, but it seems like it's in the data folder for the game. So definitely check that out as a side recommendation. If you're playing the game, you're partway through, and for whatever reason you have to do a factory reset of your phone. With that being said, my review for Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for Android as of now is going to cover Los Santos, Whetstone, or the Whetstone area, and San Fierro, because I've got to the point in the game where I'm done with San Fierro and I'm now ready to go into the next town. So it was a good timing for that reset just because of the way where I was. The fact I had to do the reset anyways, I had been holding off long enough. So overall, for the 3 parts of the game, I do definitely recommend playing the game if you've never played it. The story is very good. You have an interesting progression of CJ meeting up with his gang, meeting up with people he knows, and then meeting new people, meeting people like Woozy and Jizzy and all of those guys, going to the car training area to learn various driving techniques, and taking on different missions, even meeting the weed guy to deal with that. So overall, the stories are very good. The story progression is a little bit slow to the point of what's the point of all this. So I'm hoping they tie it out later in the game, especially since CJ's main mission is to deal with the loss of his mom and what happened to her. So the Los Santos stuff early in the game is okay, but it feels like there could be a little bit more tutorials, or it's not as straightforward as it could be, especially when you get to Los Santos, which seems a lot easier, but probably because once you're familiar with Los Santos, then it's kind of the same thing in a different city, so you should know how the map works, save games, buying stuff, where everything is, or not where everything is, but how to find stuff and what to do, where to go, how to start missions, how to progress to the next mission, and all of that stuff. So I did end up enjoying the San Fierro missions a little bit more, but also feels like some of the missions are easier to get through and proceed with and continue versus Los Santos. So it probably kind of feels like it's more of, you don't know what's going on when you're out of jail, so that's kind of what they're doing with Los Santos. You have to figure stuff out. With Whetstone, you're escaping Los Santos, and then they're using it as a transition into San Fierro, where you have a very specific set of missions with Woozy, adding in Jizzy and the various Mafia members and that sort of stuff. So overall, but like I said, it's very good gameplay, and then the graphics are what you expect for an early 2000s game, so I can't complain too much about that. But it's ported well to mobile, so it looks good enough, and it works. I mean, even without the definitive edition of the game, the regular version of the game is standard definition, so not high definition by any means. I mean, even the definitive edition is upscaling, adding better shaders and textures and graphic coloring and all that. It's a little bit more balanced, but the original version generally just works for the mobile version as is, so I can't complain about that. The only thing I would complain about are the touch controls, but even that is with a grain of salt, because I have never really been that good with touchscreen controls for gameplay, so if you're good with it, then it's fine, but for me, it's still very, very sluggish, so it's hard for me to play the games using a touchscreen, which is why I personally recommend a controller like the Razer Kishi V2. It doesn't have to be that one in particular, it's the one I use. It works for the most part. Every so often certain things are a little bit weird to navigate with, but it's like a 1% problem when you're using a controller versus all the time, or a regular issue using touch controls like it is for me. So that's the main gripe I would have, but if you're using a controller anyways, that's probably the better way to go. And the controls are responsive enough as if you were playing the game normally on a desktop, or you don't really have that much of a issue with sluggishness, delayed response. You get a little bit more granular controls, and everything generally just moves the way it should. So for me, I recommend playing the game with a controller, especially for a game this old. It seems to work a lot better using a controller than touchscreen controls. So for the game, that's my main recommendation there. So overall, for the parts I did play, I give the game of a grade of about probably a B+ to a A-. I mean, overall, a good, fun gameplay. Once you get into it, Like at some point, whether it's in Los Santos or San Fierro, the game will just hit you as a fun game to play. So I recommend the game. Even though I didn't finish it this time around, I do recommend playing it. So with that being said, after I finish my next gameplay, which I'll talk about in a second, my plan is, if my new internet service is available where I could try the Xbox Cloud Gaming again, then I'm going to go down that road to play some of the games that are available on Xbox Game Pass. But if it's not, or there's nothing I want to play at that particular point in time, then my plan is to buy the definitive edition of GTA San Andreas and play it from start to finish. Just play the whole game now that I know how the gameplay generally works. And it should make the Los Santos stuff easier now that I know kind of what to do and where to go. But the idea will be that I do want to play the whole GTA San Andreas game from beginning to end, so that I can see how the story progresses, how it completes, what the end story is for the game, and what happens with CJ and his mom and Smokey, the guy who went to, and then his friend who went to jail, and all of that stuff. I just want to see everything that happens in the game from A to Z. So sure, I could play the original version of the game, but I have an opportunity since I have the opportunity to play the game from beginning to end, from the beginning. Now that I know what's going on in the beginning a little bit more for the Los Santos part, it should make it that much more interesting and fun versus not knowing what's going on, not knowing what's happening, or anything like that. So by that point, that's the plan. I mean, it is available on the Google Play Store for $20, which is the big issue, but I am trying to budget for it, and if I have enough credits to cover for, I will, or just pay a small difference and then play it. But I do want to try out the game from A to Z, which I guess I should have done the definitive edition to begin with, but I don't think I had that much credits either. But now that I know how much fun the game is, that was the other thing, I wasn't sure if I was going to even play it through the whole way, or if I was going to enjoy it at all, or anything like that. So now that I know it is a good game and it does play nicely on mobile, that is the goal, is to finish the game and then put the full gameplay up on the YouTube edition for the definitive version, so I can check it out and see how it ends. With that being said, also, I am going to update the gameplay playlist for the existing one as incomplete, so that way, that, and for people as well, that they know that it's an incomplete gameplay. And I might put a note or something in the playlist summary that it ends at San Fierro. So also for me, that in 2 years I'll forget why I stopped and all that. But that's the plan for later this year, that I do want to potentially try the definitive edition and do that gameplay and to see how it goes. So with that being said, the next gameplay, or the gameplay that I'm starting next in the meantime, is going to be a replay of Knights of the Old Republic, the Star Wars game on Android. This gameplay is going to be using the similar mods that I usually do. So Jedi from the start, easy swoop raising, easy Pazak, no force restrictions on armor. So that way it's kind of consistent. I'm doing a Scout and Jedi Consular build, so it's going to be... I'm trying to aim for, a rapid response kind of character that's, all about flurries and quick movement. So it's, force speed, flurry attacks, and you having a plethora of tools. So think of it like a Django or a Boba Fett character, but if they use the Force, and not necessarily using blasters and rifles and things, just still more on the lightsaber side, but a very powerful, not necessarily Mandalorian, but just a powerful character that is more about speed and fast force powers and enhancing the skills that they have. So I'll have the playlist, or a link to the playlist, in the episode guide, so you can follow along there, or on the YouTube channel at youtube.com/PatelN01. The gameplay and playlist for GTA San Andreas are also there and in the show notes, so you can check out all those videos. But so once I finish the Knights of the Old Republic gameplay, then I'll think about replaying GTA San Andreas from the beginning and actually finishing it. So there is that, but that's really all there is for this particular episode. So next week's episode will definitely have my Battlestar Galactica update, my KOTOR weekly check-in and reviews, and then whatever else has been happening for the week. But for this episode, that's all there is. So if you have any feedback, questions, comments, or anything like that, all the social media links are up on the website at HeadphonesNeil.reviews, along with ways to support the show, past episodes, and all of that good stuff. As I mentioned earlier, the YouTube channel is youtube.com/TheTalN01. But thanks for tuning into this particular episode, and until next